My name's Kyle Keck. I'm originally from Ottumwa, Iowa.
And I'm Kasey Keck, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
We met down in St. Louis at a school called Missouri Baptist in college, and came up to Keokuk originally for work, and I really think it was by the grace of God that we came here at the right time and met the right people.
And ever since we've moved to Keokuk, everything has just kind of fallen in place for us, and we really believe that that's God's timing and God's will for us to be in Keokuk. And we had talked to Pastor Scott, and we had discussed how we all kind of congregated here around the same time, and together it's really felt like Keokuk has been home for us.
So I grew up my whole life in the church, going to church with family, and I heard the gospel probably for the first time in middle school, and it really spoke to me. And as I grew up and just grew into life more through college and coming to Keokuk, man, I really realized how important it is, not only in my life, but as we're raising a family, and it just means so much more to me now, and it, I think, comes from that foundation from when I was younger.
I grew up in a church. I was raised Catholic, and so ever since I was in, kindergarten, I went to a Catholic school, and I've always heard the gospel, but it never really resonated with me. And then I had met Kyle, and we had talked about when we raise a family that we really want to do it in a church and raise them to be godly people, but we didn't know what that looked like or sounded like. And so we started going to Cornerstone. I fully decided to accept Christ was last January. In between Lucy and Carter, I had a miscarriage, and so that was a lot of weight and grief and sorrow that I couldn't carry myself. And I was really struggling. And so for me, obviously I was believing in God, but it was different when I finally had something that was just too much for me to take on myself. And so I decided to give it to the Lord. And I think ever since then, I know that I can turn to Him for anything, whether it's a trial or a triumph. And I just truly believe that the world has a lot of heavy things. And in order to live it happy and positively, you have to give things to the Lord and trust in Him and His process.
To restore that relationship with God, I know the gospel says Jesus came down to earth, lived a perfect life, and then died on the cross for my sins so that that relationship can be restored. And that just speaks to me so much now, again, having a family and all of the weight that really gets on as a parent and as a husband. Really, that gospel speaks a lot to me now, and that's why I'm excited to get baptized and really publicly declare that I'm going to continue following Christ and have Him in my life.
We've really dedicated ourselves to learning more. We attend our Wednesday Bible studies with other young couples who are kind of going through the same walks of life as us.
The changes I've seen in my life since really being in this church, meeting the group of young people we get together on Tuesday mornings, Wednesday nights, and obviously here on Sundays. But the changes that I've seen in my life, just from a personal side, I feel like I'm more patient, and I'm not trying to deal with all of the struggles of life alone.
I know that I am a sinner, and I know that the Lord sent Jesus down to earth to die for us and for our sins. And for me, being baptized today is publicly declaring myself in this journey to continue my faith. This has really changed my life and our families. I don't know, it's just, I feel lighter since I've accepted the Lord into my life. And I know that no matter what happens in the world or with our family, I can trust in Him and know that we can get through anything.